You're welcome.
Well, I think it's plain to see when you come to Poundbury that it's different to new developments, because architecturally and aesthetically it looks very different. It's not on a grid system, and so it feels more historical and more established than new developments.
The quality control of the build is really high.
I like the fact that we would be part of a community and we would be part of a growing community.
Culture of the place, the way the buildings are, the way they look. People make eye contact here when you're walking down the street. Hi, how are you doing? Hello. We had two choices. It was either moving up to Poundbury or moving down the bottom of town. And I'm happy we chose this one because of what we've gained as a family from being here.
I love the fact that you can walk to the supermarket. I love the fact that the houses are beautiful to look at. They look, it's just a lovely environment to be.
So beautifully designed, and there are so many unique little aspects to it. And I had a dog one of the times I lived here, and it was just such a joy for me to take him for a walk and not know where I was heading, just follow the corners, and there would always be something new and interesting to be seen on the route. I don't know, it's just really unique.
Even when we went
anywhere like it.
They're genuine years. I mean, I know my neighbours 4 or 5 doors up by name. Previous council estates I lived on, you don't get that.
My core business is residents, and we do have people that come in the same day every week, or 2 or 3 times a week, always have the same thing, and they love the fact that we know, what they want as soon as they walk in. They don't even have to give us their order. And it's that really strong community feel that I really like.
You don't sense any tension up here or any separation between communities, if I can put it that way. There's actually everybody, whether they live here or they work here or they've got a business here, it feels as though they've all got a stake in the place.
We shop locally, we use the local coffee houses, and there's a real sense of community in those places. Quite often we have our best ideas, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
In the coffee shops.
Definitely, because it makes you walk and go and get some fresh air when you normally would jump in the car. And I know a lot of people move here for that.
We've got 6 full-time staff and part-timers, and 4 of those 6 people can walk to work. And during the summer, we all do, and if it's a nice day in winter, we do. So that's great for fitness, it's great for health, it's great for the environment.
I often will go days without using the car at all. I walk to work generally in the mornings, and I have a dog, so I'm often out walking, and there's beautiful walks around here. Maiden Castle is like 10 minutes walk up the road. It's amazing. So yeah, I do feel really lucky to be living somewhere where you don't need to use the car. It's fantastic.
We're really happy on Poundbury, and if you're happy sort of within yourself and you take that in to your home life, it generates massively.
the parks and all the green space as well is essential to
walking the dogs and taking the children out. Obviously the leisure centre's not far away. I cannot see the point in separating everything and having to travel from A to B. And what about the elderly? What about those without transport that can't afford it?
Yes, it is, and of course I'd say that because we've had a business here successfully for 14 years and a business that's growing. Yes, it is, and I think the reason it is because it allows businesses to become part of the community and seen as part of it. So the business community and the residential community integrate.
I think there's a soul to Poundbury actually, because I think if you're stuck on an industrial estate, with no residents around, the place can be very soulless. So what we found here is there's a nice mix, which I think gives it character.
You can come here and run a really successful business based on the fact that you've got the support of other businesses here.
Everyone can walk to a shop and walk to a coffee shop.
I think there's a nice mix of people on the pavements as such, and there's enough services up here now that it keeps the local community here rather than having to get in their cars and go elsewhere.
everybody involved within one community, isn't it? So it's nice being in that environment rather than it just being business.
Exactly.
It is nice being all
There's no
within.
segregation.
yes, I think Poundbury speaks for itself, that it works more than the usual development schemes. Poundbury really is, it's both an evolution but a revolution as well.
I think looking at it objectively, it's very hard to argue against it. It clearly works. This clearly, we think, is a more pleasant environment to both live and work in.
I think they should all be built around some kind of community base rather than just the monetary factor.
If you could kind of pick up Poundbury and place it around other places in the UK, it would be.
I think there's a lot to be learned. You know, there are no yellow lines here for parking, and yet everybody manages just fine. You know, it doesn't look sort of messy and cluttered. Everybody always finds somewhere to park. Yeah. I just think that maybe thinking a little bit outside of the box and not what's considered traditional and it must be done this way. Why? You know, maybe think how things can be changed, and putting in place social housing next to almost £1 million houses. I haven't really seen a problem with that. I think why can't everybody live harmoniously together? Yeah.
Which they do in Poundbury.
Yeah. Why shouldn't a housing development look nice? Why shouldn't a housing development be clean and attractive and have beautiful architecture? Doesn't everyone deserve that? Doesn't everyone deserve to live in a house that looks nice from the outside, that isn't just an anonymous box? Everything is mixed in together, everyone is mixed in together. There are no these kind of people live here and these kind of people live here, and you can tell what their house looks like. But I do think that this is a model of what a community could be, that you can say to developers, you know, you've got a parcel of land, don't just sell it off to the highest bidder. Try this instead, play the long game, see what it could be in the end. And, you know, you can still make a lot of money from it. Obviously, you can still keep a lot of the real estate to make rent from and so on. It's about looking into the future and actually creating a community rather than build them as quick as you can and get out fast. It just takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of thought. And I think you can show, you know, 20, 30 years down the line, this is what has been created, and everyone who lives here loves it.